Welcome to 19.4, your fourth week of the WheelWOD Open, and there's some new gear at the WheelWOD store. Head over to www.wheelwod.com and check it out. We've got hats, shirts, pants, and all the proceeds that we make from these we try to push towards helping athletes get to the WheelWOD games. So check out Equip Products or wheelwod.com and support your local athlete.
To box or not to box? That is the question. A lot of people have decided using their lifts with a barbell the same way I do, as far as directly off their laps instead of using a set of safety boxes. While I'm obviously okay with this technique, there is a technique to it. And one of the things that I think a lot of times is missed is bar control. A lot of times when pressing up or going overhead with the bar in a snatch or a press form in trying to do fast repetitions, guys will either let it free fall directly down onto their lap, or they will use almost as far as a bouncing technique off their lap and trying to get faster repetitions. This is extremely dangerous. I also think you're missing part of the functionality in the lift here. While not only are you putting your legs in extreme jeopardy because you can't feel that weight and the force that you're putting on them, the other part of it is you're missing a part of functionality. That's what CrossFit is about, is functional fitness. And so when we work these lifts, we're trying to build fitness for real life.
So how do we make a decision whether we should be lifting off boxes or from the lap? Now, out there from Equip Products, you can see we got the lap mat, straps right to your lap, protects your legs and your skin, but it's not going to protect from impact. The only thing it does from impact, if there's a little bit of impact, it's going to stop from bruising. But a big impact, my knees and ankles have nowhere to go. There's no shocks underneath. So a big impact, the only place it's going to flex is either through my tib fib or my femur. Either case, breaking a limb to do a lift makes zero sense. So if I can control the bar today and move the RX weight under control, then I'm going to RX. If I'm not, I'm going to scale, and I'm either going to use boxes or learn how to control the bar down. So for the RX movement today, you're going to see a snatch from floor to overhead. Now that can be lat, overhead, or if you have enough strength, you can go directly overhead from the floor. Now, for the scaled version, we've taken away from the floor and we're coming from the lap to overhead. So we pick up the first rep from the floor and then it's lap, overhead. So I want to be able to control that bar back down. That means I can't overhead and slam this bar down. No good. No matter if it's light or not, we're not going to do that. We want to practice good movement. So what we want to do is we come up, we lock out, we bring the bar back down to the shoulder, control it to the lap. Or when you get proficient at it, you just slow it down as it comes down. If we can't control that bar down, we're going to set up boxes in the scale division to be able to lift the bar off the box. So the box is going to protect my lap. I still keep my lap mat in here in case there's a lot of flex in the bar, but I still want to be able to lift. This way, if I can't control the bar down, I can drop and I don't hit my legs. It's giving me enough clearance. I've got at least 3 inches here, plus a mat in case there is some flex in the bar. Protect the skin, and again, that way, when I drop, I don't hit. So that's the difference. When to pick from going lap to overhead is whether you can control the weight down, and not only if you can control the weight down fresh, but can you do it after fatigue. 19.4, lower division. 4 time, 12-minute cap, 10 snatch, 12 bar facing burpees, step overs are allowed, 3-minute rest, 3 rounds, 10 bar muscle ups for the men, 10 chest to bar pull ups for the women, 12 bar facing burpees. Again, step overs are allowed. Note, SLA, 1 point of contact. Weight may only be used if they're lifting with no prosthetic. If the athlete is using prosthetic, they must use the 2 points of contact. The barbell begins on the ground and must be lifted overhead in one motion. Power, squats, split snatches are all permitted, but in each instance, the athlete's feet must be brought back in line. This is not a ground overhead in any way. A clean and jerk is a no rep. Touch and go is permitted, but deliberately bouncing the barbell is not. The bar cannot be dropped from overhead. If the bar is dropped, the barbell must settle on the ground before the athlete begins the next repetition. If you begin with an empty barbell or the barbell has plates smaller than the standard bumper plates, each repetition must begin with the barbell clearly below the knees. The rep is credited when the barbell is at full lockout overhead with the hips, knees, and arms fully extended underneath the bar. The bar facing burpee. The burpee must be performed perpendicular and facing the barbell. Athletes using an empty bar or smaller diameter plates for the snatch will need to set up a second barbell with 18-inch plates for the burpees. The athlete jumps or steps back to lie on the ground. The athlete's head must be behind the barbell. The chest and thighs must touch the ground at the bottom. The hands and feet must remain inside the width of the plates at the bottom of the burpee. From this position, the athlete can jump to their feet or step up. The athlete must do a 2-foot jump over unless in the lower division where they may be able to step over the barbell. A single leg jumping takeoff for the upper division is not permitted. The rep is credited when both feet have touched the ground on the opposite side of the barbell. Before starting the next rep, the athlete must be perpendicular and facing the barbell. Chest to bar pull-up. This is a standard chest to bar pull-up. Dead hang, kipping, butterfly pull-ups are all allowed as long as the requirements are met. The arms must be fully extended in the bottom. The athlete's feet off the ground. The rep is credited when the chest clearly comes in contact with the bar below the collarbone. Athletes may use tape or a strap to replace the missing limb, but they may not use a band underneath the feet. The bar muscle up. Athlete must begin with or pass through the hang below the bar with arms fully extended and feet off the ground. Kipping muscle ups are acceptable, but pullovers and rolls to support are not. The rep is credited when the arms are fully locked out while the athlete is in support position above the bar. The shoulders over the front of the bar. The athlete must pass through some sort of the dip or lockout over the bar. Only the hands, no other part of the arm may touch the pull-up bar. Reminder that scores are due 8 p.m. on Tuesday, Eastern Standard Time. Submit scores to www.competitioncorner.net. Reminder to use your WOD Proof app to record your performance.